Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Trillium up in this piece in form of their Expressway, a little crinkly labeled Expressway. This is an India Pale Ale coming 7.2% alcohol by volume. This was canned a month and a half ago. Trillium. Don't do a ton of Trillium beers, but I actually have two in queue to review because it's been a while and I saw a couple on the shelves relatively fresh. So here we go. Does it say anything else on this can? Nada. Typical Trillium artwork. I always dug their artwork. Some of their older stuff I actually like a little bit more, especially when they're in their big 750 bottles. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We can do it. Give it a pour, see what's what. Like I said, don't do a ton of Trillium, tend to be quite expensive, and oddly enough, they're kind of hard to find fresh down here. I expect, pretty much all Trillium I would be able to find would be fresh, but this one not being super duper old, we are here. What does that look like? It looks like a double IPA, maybe a skosh darker than what you'd expect, but big two-finger head on that sucker because this dude pours like a maniac, and then at like orange core, a little bit tinge darker than what you'd expect. Could be the way beer looks, could be a little bit of oxidation, we'll find out, but looks the part of a nice hazy in the 7% range. Give it a whirl, make that head even bigger. Let's see if we can get a nose in the sucker. Ooh, huge orange vibes all around. Huge orange vibes, huge stone fruit vibes. Yeah, it's just giving you this big kind of like jammy marmalade kind of like a mixture of that orange and that stone fruitiness. Big bursting in the nose, big, huge, almost like double IPA kind of effect on there. And very, very, very juicy. Just bringing these gobs and gobs of fruitiness on top of it. Not getting a big kind of precursor to bitterness. Maybe this kind of subtle like tannic tea-like kind of vibe to it. Could be that beer. Could be, again, a little touch oxidation with the way the color on this looks. But for the most part, it comes off as just this boisterous, juicy orange stone fruit. Equal, even Stevens partnership of fruitiness in that sucker. So, yeah, we're off to a juicy start. So, yeah. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. I mean, it really does fall through in the taste. A little bit more elevated in the bittering than I thought it would be. It definitely has like those tannic tea-like kind of vibes, but it is that equal partnership between that orange and that apricot-y kind of stone fruitiness. Definitely giving those kind of jammy vibes. Like I said, it's very much kind of like a little bit of tangerine, a little bit of nectarine kind of combination with this little bit of kind of jammy marmalade kind of thing going on. As for way the fruit comes off, it doesn't come off as like fresh squeezed or even like a little Jamba Juicy Orange Julius kind of vibes to it. Very much more of like a jammy kind of jelly kind of, again, marmalade kind of vibe, and the way those kind of fruits kind of come off. And the other side of things, you have a bit of tannic tea-like kind of hop, kind of weird to get off a Trillium beer. Makes me think it might have a little bit of negative oxygen kind of touch it, but I don't think it's affecting the beer all that much. Or should I say, it's not negatively affecting the beer all that much, at least where it stands right now. I can see this beer being a completely different beer, hyper fresh, even less oxygen touching it. But even with that little subtle, what I assume is a subtle touching of oxygen, it doesn't bring these kind of huge oxidative vibes. It just brings something a little bit more out of the norm, what I typically get from Trillium. Something like I associate with something that just had a little bit of kind of negative oxygen floating around it. But all in all, a very tasty beer. Is it worth its price tag? It's Trillium, IPA, 7%. I probably paid north of $20 a 4-pack for this. So it can be a little bit pricey, but I'm not hating on the 4-pack that I got. And honestly, these kind of flavor profiles in a hazy, I enjoy. I do. I expect kind of world-class New England style haze from Trillium. So this is outside of what I typically expect in them, but has it morphed into something a little bit different that this dude enjoys? 100%. And that's pretty much it. If we go to the whole Mount Rushmore side of things and talk about, is this one of the better hazy IPAs I've had as of late? It's going to be, yeah, sure, fine, in the discussion, but not towards the top, especially Mount Rushmore status. But it's given me this copious amounts of hops. Like I said, from the nose to the taste, you're getting just this, again, 2x4 of that jammy, marmalade kind of stone fruit / citrus kind of mixture, which I can get down on. I actually like that little bit of tannic, like tea-like kind of hop on it. Adds a little bit of different kind of twist on it. But again, All in all, knowing Trillium's portfolio and what they do with beers and what they try to pull off, I think it's a little bit different than what they'd expect, but it goes to show you, even with a little bit of AH or maybe even a little bit of oxygen touching it, these beers can really turn into something different, but still enjoyable, at least for this guy's taste. Now, if you're like a Haze boy or Hop Thought or something like that, maybe it's kind of veered away from what you typically want nor expect from Trillium, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going gaga over it, but this beer will be drank, and it's very tasty. So I'm here for it. So there you go. Quick review in the books. I posted a couple of reviews recently. Went several weeks without doing a beer review due to sickness and whatnot. So it's fun to jump back into these suckers, and especially from a brewery I don't get all that often down here. But I'm lucky enough one of my local spots gets them on the reg, and I was feeling a little saucy, so he picks them up. Like I said, we have another one to follow. Probably review that one in short order, post it along with this one at some point. There you go. Mount Rushmore let us know valued availability. Like I said, north of $20 a 4-pack down here in Jersey. That's going to be kind of what you pay for these things, and leave you with, if you like what we like this as it drinks right now. I can't speak to what it was before, and even if it was different, but as it drinks right now, if you like what we like this, if you like New England style IPAs, not afraid of a little bit of bitterness, and like it to skew a little bit more richer, a little bit more, like I said, in that marmalade range, and especially with those hops coming off a little bit more tannic, like bitter, like if you dig on those things, you will dig this. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive podcasting stuff at Trillium. Again, have any thoughts? Had this beer. That's what we should talk about. Have you had this beer? Have you had it fresh? Have you had it at the brewery? Have you had it more recently? Does that align? Does it look what I say align with what you've had? If you've had the similar experience, markedly different experience, or anything in between, let's talk about it down there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a little mass beer right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.